So, I think that, okay, I don't know what you learned yesterday. I'm sure it was exciting. However, I'm a big fan of other type of neuroimaging measures that are electrophysiological measures. And I was requested to say what I... Sorry, can you just stand around? Oh, sorry. Okay. Can I take this? What they... it's okay? Okay, sorry. And I was... somehow electrophysiological measures at the end have something that I think is crucial for a better understanding of the human mind. And then when I talk about electrophysiological measures, I talk about MEG, yes, but also EEG, electrophysiology, electrocorticography in general, also single neuron cells, etc. I was looking for somehow a way to conceptualize my idea. And yesterday I had 38 degrees of temperature. And in my hallucinations, I got this slide. Sorry about that. Okay, and I want to show it to you. That's great, huh? Wow. What do you think it is? Any idea about what we are seeing? Connectivity, so a neural network. A very dynamic neural network. That's good. That's a good, actually that's what I wanted to. In this contest, I'm adding you a piece of information. And the piece of information that I'm giving to you is time, now. I can restart it again, probably, and adding another piece of information. So at the end, let me play it again. What we are seeing at the end are a population of 7,000 people in a small town, and these are the activities that they are doing across the whole day. So of course, sometimes they tend to sleep, they travel a bit, leisure, etc., etc. However, to understand the complex interaction that you have in a village, to understand the mood of the village, to understand who is the boss, who is not the boss, etc., etc., you have to understand. We have to figure out how they interact, what they do, how they change their activities across time. And time, for me, is the critical point of view that allows us to better understand the complex interaction that we observe in our brain. Of course, these kind of measures can be only neural measures, because at the end, what we are interested in is neural firing as a basic level, but beyond neural firing, of course, there are short and long and super long and even generations longer neural activities. And all these things at the end interact in time. That's why I think that this is the key point that will help us to better understand ourselves, to have better understand our brain. Of course, there are problems in the complexity of these measures because they are complex, very complex, and I would say luckily complex, because I mean, if I had a measure that is not complex, would it feel that it represents what I think? I don't know you, probably, but I mean, I tend to be pretty hardcore in my thinking and reasoning. And so I think that we are, and now it opens the hope for the future. We are now getting a lot of tools, a lot of computational tools, a lot of, in general, we are increasing the level of our techniques. And through all of these advances, at the end, we are getting closer and closer to reach probably somehow a better picture of how neurons and brains and brain regions interact in real time, in vivo. We have, for example, the MEG now is moving toward the optically pumped magnetometers that are at the end cheap magnetometers that are also sustainable because they don't need to waste all the amount of helium that we waste here at the BCBL. We are, the electrocorticography is getting better and better with deep implants in which we can map all the different levels of the gray matter. We can cover, they are now planning to create the whole brain grid, in which a grid will map the whole brain. Raphael Juste was telling about that to us, and so on and so forth. When I started my PhD, I was doing EEG, and I think that EEG is a fantastic measure. And at the end, it was very hard to get an average. Nowadays, we got to single trial connectivity within a center. There is no need of interaction between centers. So, and the span that I'm talking about is 10 years. So 10 years ago, I was only able to do ERPs and averages. That's why I think that if you track the amount of increase that has been observed in the last years, there is high hope to better capture the neural activity. Something that, however, I want to go back is the fact that even if you don't have the fantastic localization that you have with other neuroimaging techniques, you can see what happens in time. You can see you have a track of what is the past, how the past of our brain interacted with our future, and somehow maybe it will be better to better link how human behavior is produced and somehow can be better explained. So I think that well, nowadays you will have a day in which you will tackle mainly something like this, issues about dynamic interactions, and hopefully we'll also some information about statistical methods. You know, the big crisis that our field is facing, that is, you know, every number has been published in Nature. So we have to be really careful and with all this multidimensionality, because here we are talking about space, we are talking about time, we are talking about multiple sensors, multiple electrodes, and you can see that the dimensionality is huge. And so dealing with all this dimensionality, probably we don't have healthy ways of addressing it. But I think that the field also is moving there. So I see a field that is conservative, a field that is skeptical, and since I'm a skeptical scientist, I'm very happy to see where we are going. So good luck with the day and enjoy it. Hope you will learn a lot. Okay. You want to see the video again? Meanwhile, it's cool. It's cool.